is Dr. Marco. Welcome to this week's health tip. So we're getting near the end of summer. Well, actually summer's pretty much done, but there's still some days where we might have some sunshine, and I'm going to recommend you get out as much as you can for one of three reasons actually. Number one, sunlight hitting your skin, as much skin as you can get exposed is going to help your body produce your vitamin D, which is the hormone that's important for so many functions in your health all over your body. So I'll get into that maybe in another video. The second thing is, ideally you're going to be barefoot on your grass, and that would be great because that'll help with the grounding effect and help bring free electrons into your body, reduce the impact of free radicals, that kind of stuff. But the thing I wanted to talk about today is that if it's pretty sunny and maybe you might be active, maybe gardening, doing yard work, whatever you can, this stuff that drips off your body is actually found to be really, really important for some very recent discoveries, let's say. So we're talking about your sweat. So we kind of know, typically, we know that your skin is one of the biggest organs in your body, and your skin is a pretty good representation of your internal detoxification capacity, because a lot of people that have skin issues actually have gut issues. So it's just a representation of the body trying to eliminate toxins, and it ends up showing up on the skin as eczema, psoriasis, and different sort of breakouts in the skin. But the other thing that we're finding is that very often people do blood work, or they may do urine looking for toxicants, we call them, which are like external things that affect our body negatively, like pesticides, heavy metals, and that kind of stuff. So they actually found that there were a few heavy metals that were actually preferentially eliminated through your sweat, and these are kind of important. So one of them is arsenic. We also have cadmium, lead, and mercury. So those are all pretty important heavy metals that can cause pretty devastating effects inside the body. And some of the research that they did, they didn't really find much of those amounts in the blood or in the urine, but they actually found it coming out of the person's sweat. So it was a really important thing to know that the sweat was actually a pretty big component of eliminating that from the body. And if you are sweating and stuff like that, make sure you're toweling off or you're showering afterwards, and you don't just let that sweat kind of reaccumulate or dry back into your body again. You want to get it off you, and don't reuse that towel. Obviously, make sure you wash it, that kind of thing. And so there's the other two important things, especially for some of the women. There's two petrochemicals, so things that are made from like oil, basically, oil out of the ground. So there's something called BPA. And then there's another thing called phthalates. So both of these are considered what we call them endocrine disruptors, because a lot of these artificial chemicals that are in the environment, they have a tendency to look like our body's estrogen, and they can cause a lot of problems. So for example, women that have breast cancer issues and things like that. And so having this in the system is not very good, but they also found that sweat had a big capacity of eliminating BPA and the phthalates as well. And phthalates are the things that they use them to plasticize, to make things like plastic, basically. So, you don't want your body turning plastic either, sort of thing, right? So these both have a pretty big impact on, certain reproductive issues and hormone dysregulation and that kind of stuff. So it's pretty important for the women to be out there to make sure that they're sweating as well, as much as they can. And, it's a one big thing that, doesn't cost much. You're outside, you get some sunshine, get some activity, and get some sweat going. Activity is a really important thing. And it can help with these other benefits too, as specifically targeting certain heavy metals and these two other problematic things here. So that's your health tip for this week. Get out there, get sweating. When we go to wintertime, then make sure you're working out regularly. Far-red infrared saunas, those kind of things. Those are all going to be beneficial for that as well, to get your sweat on. So that's your health tip for this week, and we'll see you next time.